Hey friends, welcome back. In today's video, I will talk about Feather 3D, which is an app on the Apple Store for drawing in 3D. I have already made 2 videos about it, which I will link down below, and each time you're asking me the same thing, to make slower videos that look like real tutorials. But listen, I'm struggling with that. I record around 2 hours of video that I edit into something between 10 to 15 minutes, and for some reason, I always feel like you are going to get bored if I just make a long video. So tell me in the comment what is the best thing I can do about that. Anyway, I'm going to draw this, and I will also talk about the amazing new features you can find on Feather 3D now and answer some common questions I get. You can download the free guide I prepared for you in the link in the description. Let's start! One of the updates is that now we can create different shaped guides like a box or sphere, and that we can save those guides. I'm adjusting my box now to use it to draw my building. We can save the guide by sliding this up like that, and I will add another guide on top of it for the roof part. As you know, we have more brushes with different features for each of them now. I will just choose this and start tracing. One of the questions I received the most was how to make straight lines. You just have to tap on the pen icon here a second time to draw everything in a straight way, okay? So I just trace this and duplicate it a few times to cover all this face. Another amazing update is that now we can add patterns. For this, go to Color Palette and now tap on Pattern. Don't forget to check if the rendering mode is enabled, otherwise it will not work. I'm telling you this because I spent half an hour searching for why it wasn't working. Play with the contrast, the intensity, and the angle. So instead of doing the same thing for all the other side, I just select the part I colored and I duplicate it and then place it on the other side. I erase all the part that needs to go. Alright, now I have the walls of my building done. I will just add a pergola here, like a shaded sitting area. And now the roof. So I just created an inclined guide. And again, I cover all the areas with this. There are other ways to do this, but I think this is the best way to color somewhere. Someone said in my last video, I'm having fun using it among the painting functions. It would be nice to have a function that paints the inside of a closed area at once. And I agree, the coloring brushes are one of the points I mentioned to Mr. Won, who is the director of Feather, and they are working hard to bring new tools and new features to make the 3D drawing process a lot easier for designers and architects too. And we can already see that with the latest updates like the patterns and the rendering tools that I will show you next. Alright, now I'm adding big windows. Now some columns here. Another question that I receive a lot is what iPad are you using, or which minimum version of the iPad do you recommend for this? In my other videos about Feather, I was using the iPad 2019, the 7th generation. I was actually very happy with it because it was working perfectly well, but unfortunately I broke it in a really bad way. So now for this video I have the iPad 2022, the 10th generation. I checked on the Apple Store and it says that it requires the iPadOS 16 or later. If you don't know the version of your iPad, you can see it in the settings of your iPad. Navigate down to General and tap on About, and on the right you will see the current iOS version of your iPad. Does the app have a desktop PC equivalent? I just want this app to be native Android. When I go to purchase, it says this app is available only on the Apple Store for iPad. How do you get it for Microsoft Surface? I don't see any option for using it as a web app or Android or PC either, which I have seen mentioned a few times. I think a few months ago we could also use it on all those devices, but currently you can only find it on the Apple Store. But they will probably make it available soon. I honestly don't know. Alright, I'm just making quick plans of what I will draw next. Also try to name all your layers because it can quickly get messy and then you will struggle finding the right layer. So just rename them. So next question. Awesome tutorial, really helped me learn this wonderful app. May I ask you if you know if there is a measurement tool in Feather 3D? You know to use real dimensions of walls and furniture to have some length accuracy in the overall sketch. Not really. I personally use the grid when I draw the 3D guides to have some approximate measurements, but other than that, there isn't a dedicated measurement tool for precise dimensioning, at least not yet. Besides, Feather is a fantastic tool for creating conceptual design, quick sketches, and diagrams for us architects, not really detailed 3D models with exact measurements like SketchUp. Now I'll add some lights that we can literally make them glow, and I will show you how to do that in a minute. First, I duplicate and place them all around. In the Environment tab, enable the glow area and see the light shining. I love this. Now I'll add sitting areas and then trees. Also, someone said the application is incredible, but it's still a bit primitive for us architects because you cannot use your library of objects that are repeated like doors and windows, etc. I think their clients are for graphic designers, but I hope this application evolves and you can make straight lines. Well, first we can make straight lines. Just tap a second time on the draw icon. And for now, we can use the brushes to sketch in 3D all the objects, and what you can do is duplicate all the repeating things like doors and windows. That's how I do it, like I just duplicated the whole building there, or like those trees. So there isn't any library of ready to use objects, but you can do it by yourself by duplicating for now. Maybe one day they will add a library, who knows. Okay, my favorite question, app name, the name of the application. The video's title is literally Feather 3D App Guide and Tutorial. Okay, just look at the title. Do I need an Apple Pen? No, you don't. You can enable the finger pen mode in the settings and use your finger to draw. How to make black and white mode. You can also find this in the settings just here. I'm sketching some humans and refining the last details. I also received some question about the guides, like why whenever I draw the guide it won't let me, or what if my guides are small, I can't figure it out. I know the 3D guides can be confusing in the beginning, so know that the first line you trace is going to be a 3D guide, and then after that you will be able to draw on it with your brush. And you can trace a long guide if you want. The thing is not to zoom too much, so you will have all the space for tracing the long guide. And as for the brush, you can decide if you want to trace the guide in a really straight way or not. I'm a Japanese. It was a very useful tutorial. Thank you. Please tell us more about mirror. Hi, first, I love Japan. Thank you for a comment. So the mirror tool is for creating symmetrical sketches. It's right there and there are 3 axes below it. Tap on any of these to activate the mirror for that axis. So if you want to make your lights glow, just go to the Environment tab and change the color of the background. Make it darker and increase the glow intensity. This looks really cute. Anyway, let me show you the other things. So you have the Depth of Field tab. Then you have the grain right here. This adds a filter of noise to the screen. Then you have the pixel icon to adjust the pixel size. If you tap on the lighting button here, you'll have the settings of the lights and shadows. You can add a ground shadow, for example, choose a color and direction of light. And I think that's also an amazing feature, especially for architects, because adding highlights and shadows is something that we often use in our projects to enhance some part of our buildings, so that's amazing. Last thing I want to show you, go to the settings, view and sequence. Here you can save the shots and angles you want. And then tap on play. Also, double tap with 3 fingers to switch views from perspective to axonometric. You can tap again to come back to perspective view and swipe with 3 fingers to change the field of view. Alright, let me know if you still have questions and if you have tried the new features. If you still don't have the app, we can also organize a giveaway if you would like to. Let me know. Don't forget to download the free guide I prepared. I believe that will be helpful to check all the tools at once. And if you like this video, I'm sure you will love this one too. Bye!